Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond the Hype. This is where we share the realities of becoming an entrepreneur. My name is Yinka, and on today's episode, I want to talk about a topic that most people shy away from, and we are going to be talking about failure. I want you to know that it's absolutely okay for you to fail because failure is actually an integral part of our success. But for some reason, when we hear about failure, we all shy away from it. But I bet that after today's video, you're going to feel totally different about the concept of failure and why you should embrace it if you want to become an entrepreneur or if you're already in that entrepreneurial journey. Now, let's address a very common myth that I see all over the place. And this is the myth of instant success. Now, all over the internet, we're going to hear stories of people who made millions overnight. We're going to see people who yesterday we didn't know about them, and today they are all over our faces, driving big cars, living in luxurious houses, talking about how their businesses are raking in millions and billions of dollars. Yes, that is possible. But what is not talked about most often is the hard work, is the failure behind that success that you see. There is no such thing as instant success. If you get the opportunity to talk to every entrepreneur, I'm not sure you're going to see anybody who's going to tell you that they didn't fail in one area or the other. Most entrepreneurs today have actually tried several things before they actually found the path that worked for them. And that's the part that you see. That's the part that you get to celebrate because that is what worked. But most times we don't talk about all the sleepless nights. We don't talk about the failures that we face, the struggles, all of those frustrations, sometimes depression that we feel and go through just by being entrepreneurs. Those parts, you don't get to see so many of them on the internet. And that's why many times people think that, oh, it's okay for me to get up and say, I want to be an entrepreneur today, and tomorrow I'm going to eat that jackpot. There is no such thing as instant success. Most of the time, many of us have worked hard and you only get to see what we actually want you to see. But in this video, I want you to know that failure is part of an entrepreneurial journey. So if you're currently an entrepreneur and you're going through hard times, you're going through issues, I want you to know that it is okay. It is part of your story and it is part of your journey. It's actually going to play a part in your success. Now, let's get into some of those common failures that most entrepreneurs get to experience. The very first being sometimes your business idea may not work, and that is okay. Sometimes we may think that business idea is perfect, and in the long run, it turns out not to be true. That is absolutely okay. Guess what? You've learned something that works or doesn't work, and you know what to do another time, okay? So don't kill yourself over a business idea just because it's not working. Don't force it to work when it's glaring, all the facts are presented and it's telling you that this is not going to work. Even though you may have seen it work in a different location, in a different country, in a different part of the world, the fact that it's not working in your locality might be an indicator that you should try something else, okay? So most times you're going to see business ideas that seem so perfect and they don't get to work out. I'll use myself as an example. The very first business that I had was a shuttle service. And this shuttle service, I've seen it work in different places. I've seen it work in another city that had a school in that city, and it worked quite well. And I replicated that same idea in another city that also had a school, and it did not work quite well. Now, even though, the shuttle service worked in one city, one thing that was glaring after the fact was that that city had over 500,000 people in that city. On the other hand, the city where I started mine had less than 50,000 or I can't even remember, but had a really small population. And, more than half of that population was students, right? And so the business idea sounded really good until I went into it and it did not work out. And guess what? I have started over 5 businesses from that time, and life did not end. So I want you to know that it's okay if your business idea does not work out. It's not the end of the world. Pivot where needed and try something different. And now you will be trying from an experienced perspective. You're not going to be starting from the scratch. You're going to be starting from an experienced person who knows what failure looks like and who is learning from that experience and trying and ensuring that you do not repeat that mistake in your next business idea. Now, another common failure that, sometimes entrepreneurs will face is running out of money. Sometimes we will think that, oh, okay, by the time we start running the business, would have started to make money, and kabish. That is not the reality. And so we spend all our money, we borrow money, and the business is still not kicking off, and we run out of money. And sometimes businesses running out of money may actually lead to the closure of that business. I've seen so many businesses that close just because they didn't have money to continue to fund that business, and they could not find investors, they could not find more loans, and so they just had to walk away from it. And that's the reality. Sometimes you may run out of money, and so it's important that you have to plan to be able to know, okay, when I start this business, how long will I go without having customers? How long would I survive? Can I keep pushing and keep going because I believe in this business? I've seen the prospects of this business. I've seen that this business is going to work out, and so I'm going to keep pushing. How far can you go and how long can you go, before you run out of money? This is something that happens quite often. And sometimes we don't talk about it because it's just personal stories that we experience. And then we just come out here to talk about, how we made, $1 million, how we made $50 million, and how we are, making it big. And we don't tell you, those days when we almost gave up. We don't tell you when we ran out of money. We don't tell you how we actually even took a different direction from the initial business idea that we started. Look at Amazon, for example. The Amazon that we all know used to be a business that was strictly selling books online, Imagine if Amazon of today is still only selling books. Do you know the opportunities that they would have lost if they only stayed with that idea? But look at Amazon. Worldwide, we all go to Amazon for various things that we do. I'm currently selling my journal on Amazon. Right? It's such a huge platform that because the founders took the initiative to pivot where needed and be able to address the needs in the market that they saw. Look at how much success they're experiencing today. And the same can apply to you. So if, let's say, for example, your business idea did not work, you could always try something different. If you run out of money, you need to know what your plan B is. And if, run out of money actually led to you closing out your business, it's absolutely okay. You can always replan and have a better plan for your future business. Now, for those of you that have not started, this is a very key point that you have to take into consideration. And these are questions that you need to ask yourself. What happens when I run out of money? What happens when my business idea does not work? Those are things that you want to take into consideration before you actually move, so that you are well prepared and you don't make some of the mistakes that we had to make and we had to learn the hard way. And for those of you who have started and you're currently facing that issue, I want you to know that it's not the end of the world, and don't give up if you feel like there's still light somewhere. If you feel like there are things that you can still do to salvage your business, please give it a try, and you will be amazed that things can turn around for your business. Now, one of the things I want us to actually pay attention to is why failure is actually essential, right? Even if you had the right business idea, you will still experience failure within that correct business idea, right? So let's say you have a business idea, it's working well, you have customers, there are still parts of your business that might not work quite well. And so if you're experiencing any kind of setback, it is absolutely okay, because failure actually helps you to learn a lot. There are things that you can't read in books. There are things that you can't find it even in this video. So in as much as, the purpose of this video and this channel and this platform is to make you better prepared for your entrepreneurship journey, there are some things that you are still going to face because they're unique to you, they're unique to your business. And when you're facing that situation, I want you to know that it's okay. Many of us have gone through similar situations in our own business, even though it might be unique to our business. And guess what? We survived. We moved past it. You know, that was not the end of us. And even if it may affect your business to the extent where your business might get to close, you could always start another business. And that experience would always be with you. Now you would know the things that you have to do. You know the things that you should not be doing. You know how to just do things better. Like, I can never forget my experience when I launched that shuttle business. I feel like the shuttle business has taught me so much more than any of the other businesses that is doing really well has taught me. Because when things are going really well, guess what? There's really nothing for you to learn. You plan, it goes according to plan, you move on. But when things don't go well, that gives you the opportunity to sit back and be like, oh my goodness, okay, what should I be doing differently? What could I do differently? What can I do that will turn things around? It gives you that opportunity to really think and stretch yourself. And that's where the learning comes from. That's where the growth comes from. So I want to let you know that it is okay if things do not work out, if things are not working out right now, if you're experiencing any type of setback in your business, it is absolutely okay. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success. It is on your way in your journey towards achieving that great business that you've always desired. So I want you to embrace failure, because when you're not afraid of failure, guess what? You have the boldness, the courage to keep moving and to keep going, because come rain, come shine, we are going to see the end of this game and we are not going to give up. And that's the mindset that you need in order for you to be able to achieve success as an entrepreneur. So I want you to embrace failure. I want you to know that it's all part of the success. If you fall, get up and try again. So keep going, keep pushing. And if you really believe in your dream and in your goals, then you should never, ever give up. So I want you to know that you have what it takes for you to make it. And this is me reminding you that you have to just keep going and keep pushing. Now, one of the key things I want to leave with you today is there are things for us to learn when we face setbacks or when we fail. It's an opportunity for you to reflect and analyze. It's an opportunity for you to pivot where needed, because when you experience failure, it's actually an indicator that something is not working. So that gives you the opportunity to actually pause and examine things. Okay, things are not working. What should I be doing differently? That's you reflecting. That's you analyzing. Is this an opportunity for me to pivot? And in some cases, you may have to, and like I said, it's not only the fact that your business idea might not work, your marketing strategy might not work, your operations might not work. Maybe some of the systems that you put in place might not just work. And that might be an indicator when you experience failure in that situation for you to actually pivot and try something different, because that's what is needed for you to experience that growth and that success that you need, okay? So I hope that after today's video, you embrace failure, you're not scared of failure, and you keep pushing and you keep going, because you have what it takes for you to succeed as an entrepreneur. Thank you very much for spending another time with me on Beyond the Hype, where we share the realities of becoming an entrepreneur. I hope today's video was super helpful. If it was, please give us a like, subscribe to this channel, and do not forget to share with your friends. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next episode of Beyond the Hype. Take care and thank you. Bye.